What up, Star Rock here, host and content creator for AURN, and you are watching the AURN podcast. I got my co-host, Jonathan Elias, and we have a special guest, Roy Wood Jr.
Yes. Blackness.
Blackness.
I feel like I'm disappearing into this background.
Oh, no.
Just a floating
Is that
head.
the concept? Is that the horror
Yeah,
concept? We're having lots of interesting conversations about horror and black people in horror and horror history and all that good stuff, and how darkness and comedy kind of.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I just choose not to cry about stuff. I just make you laugh instead.
But I want to use that to kind of segue into Tribulations, right? Which is a show that a live show that you've been doing. Is it over? Is it are you touring?
No, we're still percolating. So we're doing one June 17th in New York City over at City Winery. And like what it is, first and foremost, Tribulations is a show where anonymous audience members tell me and other comedians what they're going through in real life. And we go through this little spreadsheet, little app, whatever. Me and the comedians go through real problems, deep stuff. And we clown these people for their problems, and we talk trash, and we give you terrible solutions. Then we have an actual licensed therapist, beautiful black woman named B. Arthur, who is one of the top in her craft. And B comes on stage and unpacks it for real and gives real solutions. And so we kind of treat it as a way, as a group, to kind of laugh about things, but also at the same side of things, kind of, give people a real solution to some stuff. And so that's a show that we do live, but eventually we're going to grow it into, you can also live stream it, even if you missed it and you don't live in New York. You can pay $5 and watch it. But we're trying to grow that into something national. Maybe have a little room like this, do something. But, it was something that, I came up with my co-creator during the pandemic, where you could see a lot of people going through stuff and a lot of people having issues. And we were just like, what if we just did a show where everybody just say what's wrong?
I mean, society is not set up in a way that is really conducive to being sane, to be honest.
But society is also very isolating, and I don't think we really realize how much, and I don't think we're gonna know for years what working from home does to someone's mental state. Because for a lot of people, if you're already alone and you work from home, that's one less group of people to interact with. Now, I know a lot of us are introverts, but not everybody.
That's true.
A lot of people need interaction. A lot of people need that little bit of human touch. I joke about it on stage, but I'm serious. Self-checkout is bad from a social standpoint, because back in the day, you would have a little chit-chat with the cashier. Now, granted, if you got a good cashier, you might be at the hood Walgreens.
Right.
They ain't talking about that. But if you were in a particular mental state, sometimes a quick 5 to 10 second conversation with a stranger can be enough to just get you to tomorrow. Absolutely. So, we're definitely living in a state where isolation is the default. And so we just wanted to create a show outside of my regular stand-up comedy tour where we're able to kind of try and get to the bottom of some things, or if nothing else, let you know you're not alone. And that other people are going through it too, and that might help. I'm not no therapist, so I'm not gonna sit there and act like.
I love it. But you're still helping people, though. That's the dope part about it.
We hope so.
Yeah,
we hope so.
I'm sure you get some wild questions and scenarios, though.
Yeah,
right?
but people come with everything from it's a range. We had a woman at a show, and she didn't even do this anonymously. She came up to the mic and shared with me and B about being the last living member of her family. Her siblings are gone. Her parents are gone.
Ooh.
And having to go, her mom was the last one to go. How do you clean out your childhood home that's full of memories of all of the people you lost? How do you get through that? Then the next person who came to the mic said he found the Negro that stole his car, but the dude only got one leg. Should he still fight him?
Absolutely.
Wait, you said absolutely.
No.
What?
No.
But he stole his car.
First off, if a dude with one leg steal your car, that's God.
Right. That's what I'm like.
You gotta let that go.
Oh,
I could look
I'm
at
an
it.
That's
Aries
what the
and I'm
show
working on
is.
myself.
You are Aries, for real.
And I'm working on
Ready to
myself.
fight.
Because actually, it's so funny that you said that. My friend who's also an Aries, she sent me a video of this lady who was talking about like getting into it with somebody basically. And she said she had to teach herself. Sometimes you are the blessing, you know, that God had to
Sometimes
put
you
you
gotta
in
teach
front of
people
that
a lesson?
person. No, God had to put you in front of that person to get out whatever they had to get
Got
out.
it.
And you just take that as a, all right, I was a blessing. I'll take the L. I'm still growing.
See, I'm
I
a
love
Cancer.
that concept. I love it. But
We played a long
you
game.
stealing my
Plot
car.
people's deaths.
listen. So yeah,
You gotta let some stuff go.
I digress.
It's hard though, especially like I grew up in the hood, so sometimes it's hard to let stuff go because there's always that balance of
You work
like,
hard to get your shit.
do I teach this person a lesson or you know what I mean? Like,
Because if you don't
Yeah.
teach them, they gonna keep on doing it.
but you gotta, growth,
Like spanking.
growth. I'm less,
Yeah,
I'm
I got
less likely to
spanked.
pop
I
off
got
now
whooped.
than.
You feel me?
I told him to let it ride and to steal his crutches or steal his scooter.
That's what I'm saying. You got to play the
That's a
long
good way to
game.
get back.
Take his
That's a good-
crutches.
that's a good way to
Loosen
get
the
back.
wheels on the
prosthetic.
little, yeah.
Okay. As
Loosen
long
the
as
screw on the fake leg.
Okay,
can't.
as long as I don't just let him ride. You know what I mean? Like he gonna have to.
I'm just
learn
saying,
something.
slowly plot their demise. This is terrible advice. Okay,
Right,
this is not
right.
advice, but
Well,
we're just rehashing
And now
the
you see
scenario.
why I have a licensed therapist on stage
There you go. Yeah.
to balance.
That's
Exactly.
smart.
That's a good
smart.
idea.
Yeah. So I want to go back, a little bit back. Shout out to FAMU.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we have gone. We went to
Oh, yeah, HBCUs.
HBCUs. I went to the illustrious Howard University.
Okay.
1867, the real HU, the first HU.
That's where black people be reading off the whole.
The whole.
Just
we
say the name
literally-
of your college.
He's
No,
throwing me
no.
shots because I went to Hampton.
Yeah.
Oh, the other H.
Yeah.
You won
Hampton
that
University,
too? Oh,
founded
Lord.
in 1872 by the illustrious George Washington Carver, who then on that day with one brick built 7 buildings. And we honor those 7 buildings every year during the halftime of the football. You know. And I'm like, man,
We literally, it's taught to us.
How would people be on that,
It's taught to
especially,
us at
like a
registration.
whole mantra.
At registration, like
mean,
Not
literally.
Yeah, you have whole
I'm
classes.
Florida A&M, registered
Yes.
on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee. Yeah,
Whole, whole
Every school got a
entire
speech.
university
Yeah, right. We
101
all
classes
have
about,
it.
you got to learn the hymn and all of that. Yeah.
So
it's a
I
lot.
wanted to ask, I love, us that have gone to HBCUs and we're thriving in our, our industry and our careers. Do you feel like, or what were the pros and cons of going to an HBCU? Because, we do have pros and cons, but especially when it pertains to your career and like how it's prepared you.
I don't have any cons, only because I don't have any comparisons. And from what I can tell from black kids that go to white schools, they had issues too. I think every college is going to have issues, whether it's dorms and lack of housing, or whether it's parking, or the financial aid didn't get cut on time. Okay, well, go to a white school, maybe they got their affairs and orders in that regard, but then there might be a culture part that you're lacking. And then when you get out into the real world, you're a little bit behind. And I just think there's certain intangibles that you pick up at a black college that you're not going to be able to pick up in a book. You're not going to be able to pick up, from some help book or whatever like that. For me, my father died when I was 16, my senior year of high school. So when I got to FAMU, what I had, in hindsight, didn't realize it at the time, but in hindsight, what I had was a series of black men who, in their own way, were filling in some of the gaps. Partially. No one man was a complete be-all, end-all, not supposed to be. But if it came to support and somebody believing in you, if it came to someone encouraging you to pursue a dream, and even though you have doubts about it, and you're surrounded by people who aren't pursuing their own dreams, like those little things, those intangibles, having people willing to pull me aside after a class, for me, that was a benefit. I don't know if you get that at a white school. I feel like you probably wouldn't if you don't have the same degree of black professors. I had at the time, assistant dean, Dr. Hawkins, and Dr. Hawkins, this brother was no nonsense, and he was the one who would see you walking in the hall, goofing off, and just pull you to the side, and he'd go, I know your GPA, right? I'm like, what?
That's a gut punch. Excuse me?
And he would just say, go do something.
Yeah.
Go
Go
do
read a
something.
book or something.
Yeah, go stop being out here.
Yeah. Stop being out here.
That is very true.
Yeah. So it was little things like that that for me were a big help.
Yeah.
They were a very big help.
I gotta be cliche because Father's Day is coming up, and I know like fatherhood is definitely a part of who you are, and you lost your dad young. But were there some lessons that you like? What I'm learning about myself as a parent is that there's some things that I've learned that at the time in the moment it didn't seem like they were clicking, and then you become an adult, you become a parent, and it's like, oh shit. So like, are there some things from your dad that you picked up, some lessons in fatherhood that may have been unintentionally funny, or like it clicked in the moment in your own journey as a parent?
So it's two things my dad and I used to do together that stand out. When I got my learner's permit, I was his driver. When I was 15, like the last year of my dad's life, my dad worked up until like 2 weeks before he died.
Wow.
So just a grinder, just cancer, no chemo. I want to work.
Wow.
Chemo gonna make me weak. I'd rather go to the radio station.
Wow.
Give me 2 aspirins, which is why I like can never complain. In hindsight, I'm like, maybe you should have laid down.
Yeah.
Baby boomers be playing though. Okay, that's a whole other conversation about you know.
Yeah.
That's real.
So there was a work ethic thing that was just, I don't know, like just osmosis. That's not a word. Into me. Osmotize.
We understand.
The osmositization
Yeah.
of being in his presence. You know, and I can take you back first grade, second grade, when he used to take me with him to the radio station at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Dope.
My pops woke up. My pops was one of them old school black people, wake up without an alarm clock.
Wow.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Every day, just 4:30. And would be at the radio station in front of the mic at 5:05.
Wow.
Jeez.
We hit the door at 5.
Oh,
He'd
my
rip
God.
something off the wire printer. You know, back in the day, the news, there was one printer in the radio station in the 80s, and that printer was connected to the basic-ass internet at the time. He'd look through that, find a couple stories that were relevant to black folks, and hit those. My father always said to me, and I didn't get it at the time, you'd be worth more from your neck up than you'll ever be from your neck down. And it was about valuing intelligence and education. I just, you just don't get it. But then now that I'm older, it's like, oh, I get it. So that's what I try and stress to my son. But he don't get it. But also don't expect him to. But I just keep saying it because in my head, I just know I'm planting the seed for when you 27. And then you go, oh, that's what daddy meant. But, you know, going with my father to speaking engagements, you know, really put into focus everything that he stood for, what he valued, and his ideology about blackness. So from first grade to when I used to drive him to the gigs, you know, driving him to the gigs was the one thing. The other thing we used to do together was grocery shop. And so my pops would go, we would go into Western supermarkets or Piggly Wiggly. And I'd be damned if my pops didn't have a stack of coupons.
Oh, so do you do that now?
And I try not to, but it's
Coupon
like,
is a lot of work.
man, I can't help it, bro.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
The problem with coupons, though, is that coupons came in the paper and newspapers died, and I don't read papers tangibly anymore. So
they got coupons on apps.
You gotta,
now.
but you gotta remember that the app exists, and it's a whole other
yeah,
thing.
you gotta you gotta be on Groupon.
Yeah,
Find all that stuff. So, but the discounts are out there.
They out there.
But my pops about being good with your money and being efficient, what's the better buy? We would stand there for 10 minutes, freezing in the dairy department, doing math. It's half a pound of cheese, which is $2 off, or you can get a pound of cheese for $1.50 off. Let's see which is the better buy. And the retail price of this cheese is lower than the retail price of the half. Like,
just off the dome
equations.
Like,
that's deep.
Yeah,
that's deep.
That's how he would buy milk like that. He, you know, you get $2 off, but a half gallon of this milk times 2 costs more than a gallon of this milk. So $1 off this gallon is better than $2 off the half gallon, because
That's
you're
not a coupon.
essentially
That's too much
getting more
thinking.
milk
Okay,
for
my
your
head
money.
was like,
But that's how he.
Yeah, I know. That's certain.
That's the matrix code he saw.
Yeah.
So now I'm like that with purchases.
Okay.
You know, like when you start buying stuff and looking at sneakers, okay, this sneaker is nice, but I like that sneaker and this sneaker. And then you start ordering T-shirts and merchandise, and this costs $4, this costs $2, this plus, like.
Are you into sneakers by any chance? Are you a sneakerhead?
I like sneakers that look nice. Don't come up to me in public asking me the name of these sneakers.
it's like
Motherfucker, it's a sneaker. I'm sorry for cussing. It's a sneaker. You know them kids, they come up to you.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the OG veteran one, Scooby Doo.
Hide my
Do I?
face. I'm gonna hide my face.
I didn't know.
Are they real? Look, that's all I want to know.
And they green. I got some green shoes. Them the Incredible Hulk. So okay,
You dragging me right now.
Yeah.
glad you like them, youngin.
Right. I am the same way.
I get respect from the youngins on my shoes.
Right now, I got on the
but-
Beffy's Beauty Supply. Okay,
But they be trying to bond.
Yeah, and
I be missing moments, but that's how I miss moments with reaching the youth, because I don't know the culture enough,
So,
which I think is the right thing.
yeah.
Because I don't want to freak him out and be like, yeah, you damn right, these are Scooby Doos. These are dead stuff. Because then he'd be like, that's weird. He trying to be young.
Yeah, you're right. There's, I don't know.
Respect my grades.
right now?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I love the stories of your dad. Speaking of parents, your mom, Miss Joyce, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to her. First of all, I was reading about her fighting for equality in education. Right?
Yeah.
Which is
Mississippi.
Super dope. I love history, by the way. But before we get into, of course, White House Correspondents Dinner performance, I want to know, how was it feeling to be able to bring her there and have her see you perform, and how were your nerves before all of that?
I'm not nervous performing in front of my mother. My mom, let's just start, first of all, my mama just like dressing up.
I love it.
I love that.
Coming to
Classic black mom.
banquets. Yeah, black mamas love circle tables. That's really,
That's very true.
when you boil down the Correspondents Dinner, it's just another circle table event. Circle table and chicken. It's literally, it was fish and steak. I take that back. It was fish and steak.
Oh,
They do it big at the White House. No
But
chicken.
was it seasoned?
It was all right. Well, the fish was a little bland, but the steak was hidden. The steak was hidden.
All right.
Yeah. So, nervous to a degree. I think nerve and fear is important in performance. It keeps you honest. It keeps you aware of the stakes of the situation. But ultimately, you just got to go do the job. Either you're prepared or you're not. And so once it got to the day, it was a little more, I was nervous around other people, but you gotta remember, the day starts with, you wake up and, damn, what did I do that morning?
It's all up.
I went, my son was there, my mom was there. I slept in. I remember that because I was out till 1 a.m. running the jokes at the comedy club the night before. And I had all these events that I was going to Friday night. And so I started with going over my notes with my writers, and then as the day started, got dressed, got out into the hotel, and it was just droves of people. And everybody's got something to say to you, and, you're talking and you're meeting amazing people. So it's on the one hand, should I be preparing and working on the speech more? But goddamn, that's Gayle King and Brittany Griner over there. The hell is Zoe Deschanel? Is that John Legend? You're just
what?
Just random people that you kind of want to go over and say hello to.
Yeah.
So you're at this party, and it's it's thousands of people, and then they move you into a smaller room where we're in this VIP reception where we meet the vice president. So it's me, my mom, my folks. At this point, it's maybe 300 people. Then you go from another room to another room. Now it's just you and the people that are going to be up on the dais. So now it's about 10 people.
Wow.
And then you get in line, and it's just you and the people on your side of the podium. So now it's 5 people. So your day is gone from 2,000 people to 5.
Sheesh.
And then you're out there alone.
A Secret Service,
and
right?
Yeah, Secret Service, they everywhere.
Yeah,
They
right.
hang around all over. So
And then you being alone.
now you're alone.
Sheesh.
And so that's when I wasn't nervous anymore. Because I'm like, oh, this is just like every other show.
Mm-hmm.
You prep, and then you're just up there by yourself.
Yeah.
So for all the fanfare and camaraderie and all of the people I met in every party I went to and just all of this rah, rah, rah and hoopla, when it's time to do the job, you're alone. It's just you, and either you're ready or you're not. So you should have taken more time. So at that point, nervousness leaves.
Yeah.
I do not care about my mother.
Yeah.
Like even the shout out to her came a little later
Mm-hmm.
in the creation process that afternoon with my writers. But my job is to perform.
Yeah.
And I cannot care who's in the audience. I cannot care about the consequences of failure. Failure is real. Failure is an option, but I'm not going to obsess over it. And at the end of the day, this is the stuff I wanted to talk about. So either y'all love it or you don't. Yeah. Ain't nobody's career ended because of this. There's people that some people like. There's people that some people love more than others when it comes to this event. But this is not a career ender. Mm-hmm. You know, this isn't something where, man, I'll never recover. Nobody will hire me ever again. Right. They'll just go, that wasn't good. And I'll go, okay, it's a weird room. It's a weird event, which it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's,
like when you think about that, you are doing comedy that is essentially cooked fresh that week.
Yeah.
Most comedy specials you see on television are prepared and polished over the course of 6 months to a year.
You also get to say to these politicians what a lot of everyday people are thinking too.
And that's a responsibility.
Yeah.
So I have to do that. I can't ignore that. I have to honor the position of the voter in a way, the constituent. Because that's essentially what the comedian is up there to represent, is the view of the constituent. I'm the only person in this room that wasn't elected, you know. I guess Caitlyn Jenner wasn't elected. She was Kellyanne Conway. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
in terms of representing a regular, everyday person, that is what the job of a comedian is supposed to be in that space, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, sink or swim at this point. But at that point, nervousness clouds you. So then I just got angry. I got angry. Like, anger is, like, for me, an important emotion when it comes to execution.
Really?
Fear for preparation, anger for execution.
Ooh.
Because now it's like, well, yeah, y'all need
There's
to hear
that darkness,
this.
That
y'all
comedy
need to know what I'm
darkness.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can kiss my ass. You know what, man?
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Biden,
Yeah.
here's your classified documents you left up here.
Yeah. That was, and that Carl Winslow.
That's but those are first jokes.
Yeah.
Those are like the first, and you can't practice that in a comedy club.
Yeah. Right.
So this is a joke only for this moment. The Don Lemon Tucker Carlson stuff had literally just happened 5 days earlier.
Yeah.
So it wasn't much I could say. I can't not mention it.
Yeah. I love that.
So you've run this stuff in comedy clubs. I know this. I know what parts of this is funny.
Yeah.
I got on stage every night for 3 hours. Did 3 hours worth of sets every night for the last 2 weeks, prepping all of this shit. So I know it's funny. I know where it's funny because I've talked to regular people. This is not a room of, y'all are not normal.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't regular people.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you think. I don't care if you're not going to laugh.
I love that.
So that's the emotion heading up to the podium. Now, mind you, the whole time I'm thinking this, Jill Biden is talking to me, and I got to be polite. On Jill, President wife, the first lady is always kind.
Yeah.
Well, hello, and you're from Alabama, and what's Alabama? And do you like Alabama? Do you root for Nick Saban? And in my head, I'm like, I can't stand these people.
I want to roast the fuck out of them.
And it's nothing personal to you. You're just making chit chat.
Yeah.
I have to go up on this podium and stand before America.
Yeah. Ooh.
I have to be in the right. So there's a duality happening, even in that moment. But the moment they say your name and you walk up to the microphone, it's like every other gig. You're alone, and it's just you and your thoughts. And just be honest, and be honest in your delivery. Yeah. Whatever happens on the other side of that, you did what you prepared for. You did what you prepared to do. How it was received is beyond me. But I'm not going to walk away from this thinking that I wasn't funny. Afterwards, it's like a huge exhale. That's when you can kind of just sit.
Because not everyone's on you, like,
no, before that.
Also, like, before that, just like the release.
Oh, got it, right,
like,
okay.
I sat down. There's a picture on my Instagram of me sitting at the table by myself as the room is dispersing. And like, that's the picture I'm going to get framed. Like, of all the moments, just that moment afterwards, it's the end of the first Avengers movie where they're eating shawarma, and they've just saved the world from whatever threat that movie, and they're literally just exhausted, and they're just eating food, and nobody's talking. Yeah, and it was perfect. It was a perfect, like, that photograph literally captures it, because it's like. Because even after the performance, to a degree, you're alone, which is what I love about this job. But you have to remember to, like, reconnect with people, because you'll plug into just being alone, because in your head is that's where you harvest the thoughts.
The voices are.
But as soon as I come off the stage, I sit down. Tamara Keith, head of the Correspondents Association, she goes up, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes it. Thank you. Good night. And then President, Vice President leave. I shake a couple hands, and then I was just up there alone.
Babies.
Yeah, everybody left the stage. I just sat there and took it all in. And it was like the first time that I was, like, truly present. Wow. The entire time I was in D.C. was after I did my job.
That's a good feeling, though, like right after. You killed it.
Cathartic.
Yeah, I figured some people would, like, have problems with certain jokes, and they did, and that's fine. But the stuff I needed to get laughs got laughs. I made a point. So it's not a loss.
No.
And, like, what's weird is that's how most comedians, I think that's how we, like, measure success.
It's dangerous to be a comedian now, though.
Didn't lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's mad. Okay, what are they mad about? Oh, one joke? Cool.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, I feel like with social media and everybody having a chance to speak out on certain issues, and shit goes viral, with jokes and, like, comedians, how do you feel about how people are taking, things a little too serious? Do you feel like now it's different from back then? You could be a little bit more raw back then.
I just think the difference is that regular people have an outlet to go, hey, didn't like that.
Right.
It's just more opinions are out there. I think those same opinions were out there in the past. I mean, George Carlin, there would be hecklers at his shows from time to time who didn't agree with something he said. I think that we're definitely in an era where people don't want to hear certain things, and they have a right to. But I really feel like we're also in a world where the people who want to hear what you're talking about, they know how to find you. I just think we're in an era where people have opinions, and they're allowed to have opinions, but I don't think any of it has stopped any comedian from making money on the road. A particular company may not want to book you for something because of something you said that made a bunch of their customers mad. But that's a company. They got a right to do that. That's a private sector. Yeah. And I think people want freedom of expression without freedom of opinion of your expressions, freedom of consequence. You don't get freedom from consequence. There might be consequences. You say something, somebody might not want to break bread with you.
Right.
That's the game. So
that's what I'll always be in my head. I'll be nervous about that because I'm type of the guy who wants to make everybody happy.
I mean, I be wanting to track IP addresses so I could show up at their house and fight.
Oh, you see, she is hood.
Sorry,
I'm scared. Look,
no, but like I'm not worried about anyone who doesn't like me or doesn't like a joke. That's fine. That's in passing.
Does it take work? Does it take practice to kind of get that thick skin, or have you always kind of been that way anyway?
No, that takes work. You know, I got lucky because when we did Last Comic Standing in 2010, the network made us live tweet.
Oh, wow.
A contractual obligation.
Oh, wow.
So, and this is the early days of live tweeting as a TV performer.
Yeah, Twitter was really the wild, wild west.
Yeah, so folks were saying whatever they. So, and it's all under the hashtag. So I have to follow the hashtag to engage with people who like me.
Yeah.
But within that hashtag is the people who hate you.
And it's like levels to it, right?
Because
it's people that just don't like your comedy, and then people that don't like you because you're a black man, or like whatever. So I can imagine.
Every Monday night for 7 weeks, because I kept advancing. So every week I was on the show and kept advancing. I'd have to read another round of tweets about me.
Damn.
But by the third week, you see the repetition. And it's like, oh, that's all y'all got.
Yeah.
It's not even personal. It's just an outlet for some people. For some people, hatred, digital hatred, it's a real outlet. I got that after the Correspondents Dinner. I got a gang of emails.
And you thought it'd be funny half the time, like the stuff they say to you, like it's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and it for the most part, it's short, it's quick, it's to the point. It's like, okay, that's just how you get your rocks off.
Yeah.
So, no, it doesn't bother me because, you know, hate is still an emotion. And I think if you're doing something as a performer that invokes emotion, I think that's a net positive.
And it's still engagement. So, like, if you were to post a video or something,
there you go.
You could hate, but you still came here and commented.
You're still clicking.
Yeah, apathy, I really think that's the real indifference. That's the devil. Somebody being mad at me and having an opinion, cool. Cool. Fox News took one of my clips from the Correspondents Dinner and posted it on their website to use it to attack the left. And then people from the left were taking clips to show that I attacked the right.
Wow.
And I was like, perfect.
Cool.
Do what you want to do. But no, somebody calling me whatever racial slur of the week, or I don't know. That was a good one. God, that was a really good one. It was like bubble lip baboon. Like it was like 3 B's. I can't remember the third B. Big bubble lip bully baboon. Like it was like tongue twister.
Yeah.
But never said the N word.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Like they actually tried to put some thought into it.
It was like, oh, you're trying to make new slurs. So yeah, I kind of laugh at that. I haven't replied to a lot of it yet.
Are you going to?
It depends. The
How
longer the email, the more likely I am to reply.
Oh.
But if you just go, hey, N-word, dark it, and shut up.
Yeah. Right.
That's not.
It ain't triggering.
That ain't work.
I'm gonna kind of lighten the tone a little bit. We have to talk about this, right? Like, so we're celebrating 50 years of AURN, but we're also celebrating 50 years of hip hop. A lot going on. Know you're into hip hop. I saw a tweet that you did. I don't know when this tweet happened, but you said that Petey Pablo had like the top 3 "Where You From" anthem.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was more that followed that, but tell me, what are your top 3 "Where You From" anthems?
See, now you're making me think. And let me be specific when I say "Where You're From" anthem. I'm talking about a song that is specifically an ode to a place.
Yeah, that's dope.
So Like, because somebody was like, "Oh, Nelly Country Grammar, Juvenile Ha," and I'm like, no,
because it's not an ode
Not
to.
shouting out
those are
that
lead
place.
singles.
Yeah.
Those are their first singles, and they're shots out to the aesthetic of New Orleans and St.
Yeah,
Louis
yeah,
within
yeah.
those records, and you're learning about their culture through
Yeah.
that song. But the song is not about that city.
Mm-hmm.
I need a song specifically about a place. Petey Pablo, Raise Up, is about North Carolina. He named every jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was from LA and I didn't know nothing about but
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, we was
Yo.
doing this to our shirt.
My
That
mother's
song
side's from
had
North
me
Carolina, so.
like, that's Petey Pablo. That was one of them songs that make you wish you was from another.
That's real.
Just
Almost,
for like a
yeah.
week, you was
Yeah,
like, man,
yeah.
I wish I was from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, California Love for sure.
Come on, yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
California knows how to party. California, the
Mhm.
city of LA. Like it's just
And that came out during the time, like at the height of the East Coast, West Coast,
Yup.
and it was like I know for me,
Yeah.
growing up in New York, like I rocked with that song, but I kind of felt like, oh shit,
Can
like
I?
wait,
Look.
should
Am
I
I supposed to?
should I not like it? Am I
Yeah.
supposed to like this? I'm from New
No,
York,
you're
like
supposed to like it.
as a Southerner, I have to choose Welcome to Atlanta.
I was about to say the same thing. Welcome to Atlanta,
Okay,
where the
okay.
plays play.
Okay.
Because
Listen.
that song as a Where You From anthem,
Mhm.
Jermaine Dupri like literally gives you a whole itinerary in here at Strokers
Yep.
on
He
Wednesday,
does,
Yep.
yeah.
and then on
Absolutely.
Thursday,
Yep.
then Friday,
Yeah.
and then on Sunday
Yeah.
you like writing it all
Right.
down. Okay, this is my
Yes,
agenda when we go to
you're
Atlanta.
right.
Right. Yep.
Like that's what I mean when a song is literally about the city.
Yep.
Honorable mention, Born and Raised, DJ Khaled, Trick Daddy, Pitbull. That one is, it's not one of the best Miami songs from a Miami rapper,
Yeah.
but in terms of like Born and Raised in the
Yeah.
county of
Yeah.
Dade, it's like, okay,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a
this is
ode.
where I'm from. It's an
Yeah.
ode to the city.
Yeah.
yeah,
I try to think of New York ones.
Deja Vu, Lord Tariq and Peter Guns.
See, I'm not up. I mean, I'm up on Lord Tariq and Peter Guns now, but like growing up, that was
That
not
was
something that was
okay.
played down south.
Right. Not in
Yeah.
LA either.
Actually, I don't think there's because I was thinking about that as you were talking.
And then part of me is like, okay, Fat Joe, Ja Rule, New York, but that was. I was having an argument with my friend. Is that an ode to New York, or is that a diss record?
Right, it feels more like a threat than anything. Like
Yeah, it wasn't
So for me,
about
yeah, I
come
get
to
it.
New York and enjoy the double-decker bus and the train.
Right. Cam and Jay had Welcome
Come
to
to New
City.
York.
Mm.
I'm from New York.
No, you're
I will
right.
murder you.
Yeah.
You're right. That's
That's
pretty
real.
much.
I got 100 guns.
Oh my
100.
gosh.
The hook of the song is literally, I got 100 guns,
100 clips.
100 clips.
Oh,
I'm from New York.
yes.
Like,
Wow.
My
That's something to
my
think
mama
about.
was not listening to that saying, "Ooh, we gotta take the family to New York."
Right. That's very true. Oh my gosh.
Whereas California, it's all love from Diego to the
Yes, you're
Bay.
right.
Your
Oh my
city is
gosh.
the bomb if your
that
city
makes me
making
kind of
pay.
sad.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting, I'm like,
I got 100 guns, 100 clips.
That should
makes
tell
me
you a
kinda
little
sad.
something
I'm
about the
from
people
New
from New York.
York.
sheesh.
No, I couldn't, when you think of like Ode to the City Anthems, I couldn't think of one that hit me the way Raise Up or Cali Love
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
or Welcome to Atlanta was just such a, that was just such an
like-
era.
Right.
Then the
Oh, those are some
remix.
good
We
ones, yeah,
played
for
that
sure.
in Birmingham.
Like,
That-
everybody's-
We ain't even in Georgia. We was like, man, play that again. No problem.
Oh,
that
that's
was cool.
amazing.
Yeah, but 50 years of hip hop, man, it's amazing. Here's a question for y'all. As we look, because when I look at hip hop now, the thing that makes me sad is that I feel like the young generation, as it is currently standing now,
Mhm.
they're dealing with far more trauma
Mhm.
from drug overdoses and from the death of their artists, which to me bleeds into informing your hopefulness about your own situation, right?
Mhm.
If your favorite artist can't make it out, or your favorite artist, because
Mm.
like
Mm.
think about our rappers died 2-3 albums in,
Yeah.
where there
That's
was an
real.
optimism and I'm not even trying to be funny,
No,
but
I
you get what I'm
it,
saying.
I get it.
Yeah.
they left you with something
Yeah.
to still have hope.
Sure.
Whereas now, a lot of the newer artists that died, they died before
Crash and burn.
they're dying on the off ramp to success. They're not even on the they're dying on the on ramp to success. They're not even on the freeway and get to enjoy anything. Like, it really pains me. It really pains me to see them deal with so much death and loss within the hip hop community now, because I wonder what hip hop is going to look like for those kids when they're 40
No, I agree.
and when they're 50.
Wow.
You know, as much as I laugh about it,
It's concerning.
it's like as much as I laugh about reality shows now, it's kind of cool to see your rapper 55 fighting and arguing on that. Like I don't want to escape
Or like going
yelling
on
at each
cruises,
other.
like, our rappers are
But
going
I'm
on
glad
cruises,
you're
like,
alive.
Cool J,
Yeah.
like cruise coming. Like, you want to live.
Busta
to see-
Rhymes on stage
Yeah.
with Janet
With Janet.
Yeah.
performing live for the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had never done that song live before.
I didn't
They
either,
never.
and I'm a
either.
huge
Yeah.
Janet fan.
And if you've never seen Busta Rhymes live, I mean,
Oh, you
you
said
gotta
it.
make
And
that
that's a
happen.
gift. It's
Yeah.
a gift to see something that meant so much to you in your 20s still around, giving you joy now. Like the Essence Fest reunion shows,
Right.
and was
Like,
it
you
the
wanna live
Grammys?
to make it to that? I got it.
The Grammys last year when they did the hip hop
Yes,
tribute and they
yeah.
had everybody. As much as I celebrate 50 years, part of me sits and hurt for the
I agree.
youth because I
agree.
don't know what the construct
Yeah.
of their music flashbacks are going to be.
I get it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
real.
And so that part of it kind of makes me sad because hip hop was supposed to be the thing that was to help you escape reality. And in a lot of degrees now, for a lot of kids, hip hop only confirms the reality and horrors that they're
Wow.
dealing with.
Yeah.
And so, how do you find hope if you can't even find an artist
I agree.
to have hope, put hope behind? You know,
Yeah.
athletes help, but music for everybody, that's the thing that's supposed to uplift you. So, you know, that part of it, you know, that makes me sad. I know you tried to do this to keep us from
I
being down
know,
again.
And look-
but no,
And I brought
get
you
it.
right back to a sad.
But that's real.
'Cause
It's
we
real
was talking all the
time.
racism and correspondence, and you said, okay, lighter note. Petey Pablo, I'm sad that the youngins ain't got no heroes. That's my bad.
No, it's
That's
okay.
my bad. I'm just a
You brought it
sad
back.
mother-
You brought
I'm
it
just
back. You brought
sad.
it back.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's something to think about though, because if we're gonna talk about this legacy, we have to talk about everything.
That's real.
So, yeah. Okay. I mean, is there anything else you are working on that you want to share with us that people need to check out?
No, I'm laying low right now. Tribulations is the main thing. My live tour is happy to be here. We're doing 20 cities, adding 10 more pretty soon. RoyWoodJr.com is the website for tickets. Pretty much everywhere from Sacramento to Miami to Minneapolis. We zigzagging all over the country, man. All 4 time zones. Is it 4 time zones? Yeah, it's 4 time zones in America. Pacific, Mountain, Central, East.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it took
look,
me
I
a
have to
second.
count.
I went to public school. And then also the show is Tribulations, tribulationshow.com. If you want to watch some of the content on demand, if you want to come to a live show, it's a really dope situation.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you all.
It's
This was
been
fun.
Yes.
I'm glad my voice made it. My voice
did.
made it all the way
Yeah.
through.
Look, you did it.
The
You
struggle,
did
you
it.
made it through. And thank you all for tuning in to the season finale of the AURN podcast. Peace.